Satnam Fatih, Satnam Satmuk.
Um,
So we decided to have this chat. We are all three in different places in the world, but we decided to have this chat and to explain the reason why we have decided to leave Kairai, which is a strange terminology also. No, I don't like very much leave Kairai. It sounds very dramatic. Actually, we want just to get out of an administration that we feel that is blocking. There is no conflict whatsoever, no problem with people, not even problem with really the institution. But it's just that our way of teaching is changing, our intention are changing. And we wrote the newsletter. The link of the newsletter will be together with this video. And we wrote the main reason why, but apparently, not even apparently, it's not enough. it's better it's better like voice, to explain and to chat with each other and go deeper, because the newsletter is very clear. There are 3 paragraphs especially where we say the main reason why for us it is important to deliver the teaching slightly different, even though exactly the same teaching but slightly different. And one is the connection to nature, which we absolutely feel that needs to be reinforced, and we have to go off the different floors when yoga is taught in yoga rooms, sometimes not even touching the earth, and not considering the season and not really considering Ayurveda. The second is the quantity versus the quality. It's the curriculum, especially level 1, is really packed. There's a lot of things. And we have come to the realization that students cannot really digest that. And the third one is self-initiation. We just don't want to continue giving certificate where we believe that people should decide themselves and take responsibility for teaching and what they teach, and not just present a certificate that they might have gotten in 3 weeks and maybe not even really deeply practice to integrate that into their nervous system. So shortly said, these are the 3 reasons. If you are interested, you can read the newsletter. As I said, the link will be there. And today we want to develop in these themes because we received a lot of feedback, mostly encouraging, but some other, of course, with the doubts, or what happened? What are you doing? Are you stopped teaching? Are you teaching something else? Is it against Kairai? Of course, leaving Kairai has become very popular the last 3 years. So we were also put in the box of now we do our own stuff. And this is not at all what we want to do. So yeah, we are here to chat and to clarify all that. So from what do you want to start, Fateh Satmuk?
yeah, thank you, Satsarat. Yes, one of the question I had some people is that are we going to see you again in the festival? Are you leaving the Sangha? These kind of questions, and which even surprised me because there was never this intention to leave the Sangha, not to attend to some events. This was just like an academic and the pedagogy that we want these teachings to be more integrated in the life of people, more respectful of the tempo, the rhythm of the nervous system. That really changed, especially we have observed since the COVID that the geometry, the resonance and the reactions in the nervous system has changed a lot collectively. And that's the way the teachings were transmitted until now started to have a switch since the COVID time, and with a deep subconscious block around security that came up, and trauma, a lot also of the advance in the science, the neuroscience about around trauma therapy and understanding nervous system related to trauma. There's a lot of information there, which Kundalini Yoga is really specific to address those aspects. but in the teacher training right now, it's not present. And I think personally and collectively we realize that this is something essential, that people have an understanding of the flow of their nervous system, so they can find the right practice of Kundalini for themselves, but also find the right rhythm, how they can teach it, so that it doesn't create a tsunami in their personal life, because that's what also we observed in a lot of years of training teachers. So we are not leaving the Sangat in itself. We are still connected to, like you said, Satsabat, to the wonderful people that are part of Kerai or part of the Sangat at large. So it's not a personal issue. It's not a human issue. Like all the people, when you take them one by one, they are fantastic people. But it's just that there is a deep need of change. We feel a deep need of change how the frame of the trainings are proposed, so it's more integrated. And we feel that an institution that is in the United States, which is a different culture, which is global, that means international, it takes a lot of distance, and we don't see how the change we want to implement so that the teachings are more integrated can be done in such a large collective field with so many people from so many different countries. So this is the idea, that the institution got a little stuck because this is what all institutions do with over time, that they get a little strict about some rules and some regulations, which is perfectly normal. But then when you want to adapt and be flexible and according to different contexts and period of time, then it becomes, like you said, a little block. So this is what mainly the thing that triggered me when people told me that, are you leaving the Sangat? We are not. We are still there. We are still connected to the tradition 100%, still honoring this lineage, still honoring all the people that went before us, that make the teachings alive for us. Like, with this gratitude is just expanding more and more each time we teach. So this is not changing.
Yes.
Only increasing more and more. But also we realize the main kriyas, the basic teachings of these traditions, the people skip over, they go to some very deep, powerful kriyas without having strong bases, which are there in the tradition. But because Yogi Bhajan taught everything to everybody, like a mix, he gave 8,000 things, like giving, 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 giving. Now there is a need to integrate in a deeper level some of the kriyas and kind of build steps so that the practice is grounding, integrated, and people can integrate it in their daily life, more than becoming a trainer or teacher that trains many people. But then when you come back home, you're a mess because your nervous system is shaky and you cannot deal with
Yes.
your kid, with your wife. So I said a
Or
lot
husband, or husband.
of husband, of course. So it's also how
Oh,
yes.
sorry. No, I
No,
just
no,
wanted
no.
to say this answer also another question which we got is, are you leaving Yogi Bhajan teaching? Will there be Yogi Bhajan teaching? Of
Yeah.
course. It's just out of these 8,000, we want to go deeper into some and slowly and integrate it and give the chance, the possibility to really know what are these kriya, and not just skipping over and finding like pills, oh, I do that for this, I do that for anger, I do that for that. Yeah, but this is an intellectual decision, but are you ready to really accept and understand the impact that they have on your sensory system and on your nervous system? But maybe, I don't know, Satmukh has his thought on what he wants to say, but I have a question. I want to play the moderator. Can I play the moderator? It's the dream of my life. I once I can play the moderator. So, Satmukh, I want to ask you these questions. When Fatih was speaking, I really had it in my mind. Some people said, because you were speaking, and suddenly it came to my mind the question that I heard. Yeah, this is all really great, but can't you do that by remaining in Kairai? This was a question of a student. So, Satmukh, do you want to answer it?
Yeah, I mean, I will talk for myself, but it resonates also with you both. there are people who have the energy to invest themselves in institution and really spend their prana to try to change the global institution to bring changes that they are very connected to. Personally, we are more focused on the delivering of the teaching, and I've never been so much into the political aspect, because when you have such an organization like KRI, it is political, it is relational. This is the way it works. And I've realized that since the COVID, before we were traveling a lot, so we were very much connected to this international community, and there was a resonance with our life and a resonance with what we were living in the daily life. But coming back to the nature, to the simplicity, which is also connected to what we want to integrate in these teachings through what you mentioned, the connection to nature, the connection to Ayurveda. Somehow there is a kind of concentration and more localization and more tuning in with the environment. And from there, the institution at the international level, does not make really sense, because you see, you are in Australia, we are not in the same season.
Yes.
You are in summer, we are in winter. It's a completely different story. And before, when I was very much involved teaching in China, living in China, I was involved in the institution, more in the against the institution. Because that was
or the institution against you, Satmukh, sometimes.
Yeah. Because I had a lot of fire to bring change, actually, and my voice was heard. So I'm not saying that KRI is not functioning, but today, where we are in our life, we don't have this prana to invest in changing this institution. And another thing also is that before, there was a channel for communication that we lost with the recent change of the board of KRI, the recent change of the director. So before that, somehow, I could send a message to Amrit and I would got a direct answer. So there was still something happening in terms of communication that today is not there for me anymore. So for sure, it's not the reason why we are changing direction, but just talking about the institution and why I don't want to invest myself into bringing some changes at this level. And like you say, Fateh, it's a big scale, so it's very slow to move this big boat. And also, it's so many languages, so many different cultures, that somehow we have become a victim of our own success. And yeah, I mean, 50 years ago, someone was saying small is beautiful. So I resonate with that. Yeah.
Yes. And and there is another reason, actually, that was the answer of one trainer in China, actually, that said as an answer, if we continue working our own way, but in the system, people will anyway not make the difference between our training and other KRI trainings. And this will bring us always either in trouble or fascination, and this is sometimes what happened, not in a huge amount, but we have seen that happen. People find our training on the KRI website or the IKTA website. They think that the location, the dates are okay, they come, and then they are put off or blown up by what they perceive to be a difference in what they usually experience in other training and with us. So I don't know why this happens. I didn't attend other trainings, so I can just report what they say. But there is an obvious difference, maybe in the way it is delivered. I don't know. But there is. And so we need to basically make it clear and just open to groups of people that are attracted by that training and not by a format. Oh, okay, I want to do the teacher training level 1 Kundalini yoga. Let me Google it and find where I can do it. We don't work particularly well with people that come to our training for these reasons, at least in my experience. Where we work very well with people that have been attracted by something that we said, our faces, or did a class, or so was online. And so it's a more personal, it's more personal. Yeah. This might be also part of the answer.
Yes, and what we realized recently, which is another aspect of what you mentioned, Fateh, that since the COVID, there is something fragile in the nervous system of the participant, and there is something about safety and security. And I realized that if there is not really a resonance with the teacher, and if we cannot build a relationship with the students where the student feels safe because he knows the teacher and there is an intimacy in the relationship, which means, yeah, I know that teacher, I know that student, I know the story behind, we have spent time together. We realize that if this is not there, it's very difficult to address the part that in our psyche we are scared of, because we need a safe environment. So coming for a training which is KRI does not give this safety. Of course, there is ethics and so on. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the safety to calm down the subconscious fear and have the space to go there and be in touch with that. And what we realize is that without the teacher-student relationship established with a certain reverence and trust, it's not happening. It's just ticking the box. I did this training and I'm going to another one. I'm doing this training. And we end up with students accumulating experience. And like you mentioned, not being able to digest it and not being able to see the change in their personal life. Therefore, it creates even more duality between me spiritual and me in my personal life. And this, we don't want to nourish that anymore. We don't want to nourish that gap. I did it for myself. I nourished that gap. And it took me some energy to bring back the personal and the impersonal together. And I don't share this pedagogy anymore.
Yes.
Yes, when you talk about that, it's a lot about the fake it, you will make it, which is, I think, a very good way to expand the teaching when you want to multiply and plant as many seeds as possible in as many places, as many countries as possible, which was the intention of Yogi Bhajan. And I think he was extremely successful at it. And KRI was born out of that intention. And what we feel now is that we don't need more teacher. We need more more people who integrate the teaching, which is a different phase of the process of the teachings. And it's not against what happened, because this is because seeds have been planted that now we can water them. But it's like we really feel that we want more subtlety, more depth also of the teachings than multiplying the people that transmit them also. So it's also a wish that maybe there will be less teachers, but the one who teach is really out of a call from the heart, because it's a call of destiny, basically, but because it's the only way through the academy that you can grow in this yoga. Because the way it was framed is that the only way to grow in yoga, in Kundalini yoga, was to teach it somehow, which is part of the tradition that we open the channel of the golden chain by doing seva. That means by serving someone else. But we believe today that there is so many possibility to serve people and you don't need to have this only opportunity that you need to teach them.
Yeah.
So there are so many ways and so many. I think everybody has a unique way to integrate and share and serve with those teachings. That only doing teacher training and framing this as becoming a teacher is becoming a limitation in the time we are in. And it also goes with the fact that now there are already a lot of teachers trained in many countries. So it's not like it was also in the beginning, it was like, okay, people want to make money out of it. And we realized that actually very few people can live from the yoga as a job full time. And I have met in the people who did trainings with me or in the surroundings, so many yoga teachers and Kundalini teachers that got burnt out because of teaching Kundalini yoga. This is also something. How can you teach a yoga when you're burnt out? This is completely mind-blowing.
Yoga that burns you out. This is
yeah. I mean, it's crazy. How can that happen?
Yes.
And those people, there are thousands and thousands of followers on Instagram. Everybody thinks they are happy. Everybody thinks they are peaceful. Everybody thinks that they have a wonderful life. They are stable in their nervous system. But those people, they call us and we freak out. What should I do? Because they are completely lost. But the pictures on Instagram says the opposite. So we end up with people following people that are completely screwed up after 20 years of practice and teaching. And I mean, as an academy, we are responsible for that. We need to come back, get the feedback from what we have created and say what is working and what is maybe not working in the time we are in, and what do we need to adjust. But this is such a deep discussion that doing that with internationally with so many people, I cannot even start to understand how it can be possible. Because it's really like the intention of Yogi Bhajan was 100% right at the time he put this intention. But now we need to have our own intention according to the context, the time and space, which has completely changed. Because his intention was in the 70s.
Yes.
54 years from now, 55. I guess 5 cycle of even 11, things needs to be changed. We went through a cycle of the elements. So the form needs to change, but that doesn't mean the essence of the teaching need to change.
Yes.
Which I can understand for some people, it's not so easy to understand. That's why we wanted to do a video about it.
Yes, but also it's good what Satmukh said. I really want to underline is that there are different tendency, different approaches, and our intention it's this one. And I can speak for me. For me, I want to teach. I want to sit and teach. If there is one person, it's fine. If there are 20, it's fine. But I don't want to change the world through yoga. I don't want to create an organization. I don't want to create a community. I tried all that more or less successfully. But today I really realized that it's not my place. And the last episode that really convinced me that it was not my place is the last event a few months ago when the Kairai board was overthrown and they created that extra chat and these Zoom meetings so that the new people could just pick up. I realized that I couldn't even speak there. Maybe a lack of motivation, but also a lack of projection of other on me, because I was not part of the category of the old one that have wisdom, but also not part of the new one. You had to be new and a little bit aggressive and, Jeanne d'Arc, if you wanted to be heard. So I realized I don't even open my microphone because no one will listen. And of course, it's not the fault of the other if they don't listen. In this moment, I didn't even feel bad. I just thought, it's not my place to speak. It's just not interest me. I just want to sit and simplicity, joy, and speak people that want to listen. So coming back to the choice, when some people come to a Kairai training without being connected to us, they listen and don't listen, because you are like one of these teachers at school that replaced the principal teacher that is sick, Say, oh, it's just a day. Please, come on. This I like, this I don't like. Come on, I want to tick the box that I did this model. And that's not what I want. So it's not the majority. The majority is we have beautiful experience in the group. But this, I don't need it anymore as well. So this is where we stand.
Yeah, I'm still connected to the fake it and you will make it, because for me, in the fake it, there is a lot of being outside of ourselves. I project myself into a persona, which is the perfect teacher. And this creates all what you mentioned, Fateh. That's mean I create a distance with myself, and the teacher is validated by more and more and more and more people, and it creates even more distance with myself. And for us in this new format, what we want is to integrate the teacher within our own life. That's mean, because it's a beautiful archetype. It's the archetype where you hold the paradox, and there is no more magic than that. But you don't need to be a teacher for that. But you need to integrate the teacher within you, because that's the place. That's the number 5. That's where you can have the experience of I am this and that at the same time, and that opened the door of the magic of life. So it's a completely different movement for me. And before, I believe we needed to go outside and create this teacher and deliver this teacher, because people needed to see the light and be attracted by it. So they were like mosquitoes. And it was completely, Yogi Bhajan was so powerful in his projection because so many people came. But now, like you say, there are so many people. It's time to, okay, let's digest it. And let's bring this consciousness in our daily life.
So there is one thing also that I'm sure it's for you also the same, but for me definitely was for a long time, because we have started speaking about this change about 1 year ago. And for me, it was overwhelming at the beginning. It was very difficult to take this decision, even though conceptually I understood the reason and why. But it was very difficult to give that up. Maybe because of the big change, maybe because of my age, and maybe also because of the gratitude that I have towards all what Yogi Bhajan created and the institution. It changed my life. So I just couldn't separate the teaching from the material that Yogi Bhajan created. And so it was difficult for me. But as soon as then I decided just 3 weeks ago, I guess, okay, I am in. Then it's a new vitality came in, and my gratitude, as you said, Fateh, doubled and tripled and multiplied. So I just wanted to acknowledge that we are made of our past. It's not that we are living it. Okay, it is not valid anymore. Let's do another cake. No, it's based on what we are, thanks to what happened. So we carry that all with us. This is for me very, it's nice to see it this way, and I just wanted to say because I feel it strongly.
Yes, and like in this process of choice, which is not really a choice at the end, it's just that we realize also that in the frame of KRI, I had less and less joy to teach. I was like, kind of losing the juice, and nothing wrong. It's just to acknowledge that the resonance is not there anymore, and there is a new path to honor. So yes, we started to think about it a year ago, but it was not there at that moment. And then this year it started to kick in, and for some reason slowly became a reality, because all the part of ourselves started to resonate with that new direction. And for sure there is unknown in front of us, but there is also a lot of joy and excitement, and we are very happy to offer that to you, and I hope some people will come, because we need still students to have the experience, or we can teach each other, but that would be fun.
But this we already do, teaching each other. I learned a lot from you.
Yes, but not directly, more like that.
Yes, I know.
But it's not about the number.
Yes.
And also the pleasure to do that together, because this is also why we are able to do that, because there is a balance in our
Yes.
relationship. And this I'm also very grateful that I met you on my path.
Yes.
to find this balance, actually.
Say, now come on, that's about change. Then I am in 100%. So I need this to be ignited, a new force, and you know how to do it. So, yes, yeah.
Yeah, for me, really the intention is to bring my prana into the clarifying the teachings, make them more simple, more graspable, and how they can become really practical in day-to-day life. And because this is the process that teaching in this frame of Karai helped me to do within myself, to clarify what is essential and to apply it. So for me, it's really a process that cannot be done, because, as you said, Satmuk, if we put our energy to change the institution, it's another investment of the prana. For me, the investing my prana in clarifying those teachings is already a huge energy. So this is my priority. It's just a question of priority in the end. And I have a lot of respect for the people who hold the organization of the events, who hold the meeting of the Sangat, who hold also those institutions, the people who work for the Library of Teachings, also this fantastic job, which is essential. Absolutely. So it's just that everybody has his own place in the system. And for me personally, this is clarifying those teachings, and doing it in a new frame is the only way right now, is the few years I have left for my life, that I can do that. For the one who are involved in politics, I have a lot of respect, but this is not how I can invest the best my prana. So this is why also personally I was really moved to have a new frame, so we can really start to do that in a very dedicated way, and devote our energy very specifically to focus more. It's for me, it's not like we change or we cut from anything. It's just that we have a frame that helps us be more focused on what we have integrated, and for that to really be transmitted. So it's for me, there is no discontinuity at all. So that's why when I have this question, so how can they think that? No, there is no discontinuity. It's just now I'm past 40, so I realized a little much my prana is precious, so I need to invest it in what I can really do and what I'm made for. So this is clarity, clarifying those teachings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, my thank you went beyond that video. It was really another kind of thank you.